Posh Closet is Cinta Spector. I'm a Posh ambassador too. I have done a number of exhibitions in South Africa. I've had discussions on the arts. I've done my master's in arts. I have worked within the fashion overseas, Japan and South Africa. Moved back to the States, got a few jobs within the music industry, and I lost my job during COVID and started Poshmark during the COVID time, and I was just testing it out and trial and error, and it started working for me. So I'm self-taught on the platform. I taught myself how to meticulously work through the format. I feel as if I'd be a good person to kind of talk to who wants to start and develop Poshmark. I've done Poshmark live shows. I don't have a huge space. There's my stuff over there. I don't have a huge space, but I'm working through, we just don't have a big space, so I can't set up like most people. The music you hear in the background is what I've produced. The art is what I've done. The garments you see are the pieces I've made. So I have multiple skills, and I also play piano. If you need a musician, I play piano as well besides producing music. I would bring an interesting kind of vision to have a discussion with, because I'm bringing all the elements. I'm what you call a multimedia artist. So I don't just focus on one type of skill. And my YouTube channel is relatively new, so I'm still building that up. I've been working very diligently on Facebook, and Facebook's been helping me push out Poshmark stuff, which is great. Super helpful there. And yeah, I just feel as if I could help people through the technical side of things, because I'm a techie. I like the techie stuff. And that's where I am right now. I'm consistently working on Poshmark every day. I'm not probably making as much as I want to make, but that comes in due time, and obviously stock matters. I don't have tons and tons of stock to put into Poshmark, but I'm working my best on what my capabilities are. And I feel as somebody who's from overseas, besides being American, I can help people from overseas and explain certain things that might be happening within the platform or on the platform. So I feel as if I have a unique voice to offer. An American at the same time. I'm dual citizen. And I have an article at the Smithsonian, and here's the article. The article that is placed at the Smithsonian. This is at the Smithsonian. Hi folks, I just wanted to thank everybody for getting me on the live. I was actually on the live before. I think it's important. I don't know if this is... I don't know what's going on. Okay. So, I'm just going to do this as a warm-up more than anything else. I wouldn't be doing this live today. I have to thank everybody for getting me to this point. I had actually had another account, and my other account, it just became a complication because I went through a different channel to get onto the lives. So this is so much better. I'm a Gen Xer. Yeah, I know. People keep it, even TikTok couldn't figure out my age. It was so frustrating. They're like, you don't look your age. I'm like, I am. I swear I am. Anyway, so I'm here now. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate everybody joining me and participating. Sure, I don't know how long we're going to have TikTok for. The music you hear in the background, I've been producing. You're just hearing it on my SoundCloud. I do like to produce music. I have a YouTube channel I have to get on to later to do a live over there to talk about the music production. But I wanted to get on here first to just let everybody know. Thank you so much for getting me on board with TikTok. This is my second attempt to get this right. And I feel as if the first attempt, it was okay, but there were a lot of younger people that I don't think they understand our generation. Play something? Oh, absolutely. I can definitely play something. I was here to just thank everybody to partake in just being here. You know, I wasn't thinking of playing anything, but if you guys are interested, I can definitely play something. More piano. But you can definitely hear I'm very rusty. I used to teach music, and now I need to take these out. my little rings off because I cannot play with these things. Maybe this finger I can. There's that. I do some jazz. I do like a lot of the stuff you hear in the background. I produce these. Let me just give you this one, for example. I try not to, I like production. And production, I worked at Guitar Center at one point. I was teaching. Encourage your viewers to share your live. And oh, can you guys share out my live? I don't know. It just said I should encourage you guys. If you don't mind. I don't know. I'm 44 years old. I'm 44 years old, meaning I was born, people always get it wrong. 1979 is when my birthday was, or is my birth date. So I'm a little bit of like that between generations. I have fur babies. I don't necessarily have kids, but I enjoy working with kids as long as they don't piss me off. Because then I lose my cool, and then the parents are like, she's like terrible, she told our kids that they can't do something, and blah. So I was like, nah, forget the teaching. I'm not good at that because I will tell them to like get off the boat and go back to playing some music. I wasn't necessarily here to do like the music thing, but I wanted to just let people know that I've now gotten onto the live. Thank you for everybody who has gotten me to this point at the stage. Let me continue with this, just background music. And the reason why I'm using my own production stuff is because, as I've noticed on all the platforms, they really emphasize that copyright concern. So I try very hard to just kind of stick to the rules because I want to make sure that all the places that I'm on Facebook Live, I do the performance bonus, I'm on Poshmark. I do the Poshmark lives. I do the YouTube lives. I'm still trying to monetize on there. I'm still in the process of monetizing here. So it's like just a variation of things. But I'm learning to use technology for building up a business because that was my plan. My plan was to develop a business. So that's where I am right now. I taught myself a lot of the things. Oddly enough, I did music since I was 3 in Japan because I lived in Japan. All sorts of things. So, yeah, that's basically, I'm just thanking everybody to pop over and appreciate everybody who's coming in and just, it just feels like a warm welcome, hey. I'm so honored to actually be participating in this venture. But this time it's on my own steam. It's not on... What had happened before when I was doing the lives was it was on somebody else's steam. Somebody had tried to get me involved in developing the projects with their own or with their company. I was like, I don't know if I can do this because I felt very uncomfortable because I didn't have control over it, right? I need control over my own space. And that is how I feel right now. I feel a lot more relaxed. I'm like an independent person. I can't deal with, yeah, that's just me. But I do appreciate it, guys. I really, and I don't know, but as I said, I'm from that Gen X kind of group, which is now like kind of monopolizing. Not really monopolizing, but participating in the development and growth of the changes that are happening right now. So, I know, I really appreciate everybody popping over and checking this out. I'm honored to be... Within 3 days, I was able to get onto the live. So I started off the second channel. This would be my second channel, my second TikTok. I started off with 25, and then within 3 days, we managed to get up to like 700. I'm like, whoa, this is like moving so fast. I couldn't even like, I was like, wait, slow down. Let's reanalyze the whole thing. So that's where I am right now. On the level of Gen Xer, I lived in many different countries. I didn't live just in the United States, so I experienced it in a slightly different way. I grew up in South Africa. My mom is South African. I grew up in Indonesia because my name is from Indonesia. I grew up in Japan. So throughout the time period of what was happening between the 80s and 90s, I was sort of in the States. I was back and forth because my parents were diplomats, and then, yeah, that's basically how my life and experience has been as a Gen Xer. I've just always traveled. So this is the first time in my entire life that I'm literally just like staying put in one place and actually building up my own like lifestyle. I can't say that it's been easy. Nothing is easy and nothing comes quickly, right? So that's part of like the process. And as you get like as things build up, you realize it all takes time, and you have to start in certain sections, one section at a time. You can't just build it up all at once. And that's what I've discovered, and I'm so glad that I've gone through like learning how to build like websites and learning how to do production on my own. My husband, like, he's in the media world, so he also understands the IT and all this stuff. So once I develop a bigger setup, if it ever happens, then he helps me like connect everything together, which is important for production, right? So yeah, I'm all about self-motivation, and all the things that I do is all about self-motivation, and that's what my generation is from. So I'm just basically chit-chatting right now. I just wanted to thank everybody that's popping over. I wasn't here to necessarily do music per se. It's set up for my YouTube channel. You guys are welcome to see me produce music on the YouTube channel at around, I think, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I don't have much time to do this, but I wanted to come over and thank everybody who has participated in the starting of the venture, so to speak, and taking it from there. But yeah, that's where I'm, you know, this is the whole thing right now. And today is my first day, in theory, kind of being on the live, so to speak. I had another channel and I was on the lives on the other channel, but I had no control over the space. I felt very restricted because somebody else had kind of gotten me on the back end, and it was just like a mess. So I was like, no, I'm not going to do that again. We're done. Thank God for the backup. This is my backup channel. Always have a backup just in case, right? Just like we don't know what's going to happen with TikTok. I don't know what's going to happen with TikTok. I hope TikTok stays, because now I've just gotten started, right? I really hope that it stays. But I have, if I must, I have the backup with the Facebook. And the YouTube will be the second backup. So you always need to keep, if anything happens and goes amiss in the world of technology, always have that backup, because we don't know what's going to happen. Like, I can go without. I grew up with not much technology. We played in the garden. I used to ride horses. I remember at 7 years old, they used to put me on a horse and they say, jump over that 7-foot jump or 5-foot jump. And I was like, okay, let's go over the jump. And I would jump over the jumps. So I was playing with horses while everybody at this generation is like playing video games. I'm like a horsey chick. Like, that's what I did. I did horse riding. Thank you guys for popping. I have just a little bit of makeup on today, so I don't look like a little crazy person. So I use my little bandanas to cover up the undyed hair. So that's where I am right now. Are you guys interested to listen to me play? I don't know if that's what the plan is here. But I do have the equipment. I don't play guitar. I used to play drums back in the day. And that's where I am right now. I try to make sure that the reason why the music in the background is playing, it's not 80s music. I feel, because I'm just starting on TikTok, I feel like there might be a limitation for me to be playing stuff like that's 80s. And it's also going to be on YouTube, and it's owned by somebody else. So the copyright claims are going to be totally like out of whack. I wouldn't want to take a chance on it. So I'm trying to stay kind of like moderate when it comes down to the music, which is why I have my own tracks in production playing in the background. Yes, I did produce these music pieces. So I've been doing production since Tokyo when I lived in Japan. 1997 is when I started my music production class over there. So I've been dabbling with this since the 90s. During the 80s and 70s, I was just playing like the piano. My mom's a music teacher, so I grew up in a background of music. My sister's also a musician. She's like performing all over the place in South Africa right now. I'm like I don't want to sing, I want to produce, so I've been working on that kind of stuff in the background. I haven't necessarily put it up on Spotify. I don't know if people know, but Spotify is going through their own problems. So I'm trying not to. And then you have the AI concern. These are all the things I generally talk about on my YouTube channel. I'm supposed to be going on there in a bit. I have lots of things I need to do. I also need to get my Poshmark together. So I'm making money online. This is what I do. Before this, I was teaching music. And at a certain point, I was kind of like, I need to be my own independent space. This was my biggest thing, is like I wanted to have my own space. I was tired of working for people in like the younger generation who just didn't get it. I was like, you guys don't get it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and dress up in a uniform. This is not like Guitar Center was like, oh, you need to wear like a collared shirt. I was like, I'm not going to do that. Don't ask me to put on a uniform as a musician. Like, it's not going to happen. Forget it. Like, we're done. Like, we're done. I'm walking out, and I walked out. So we're like on like our own like Steam right now, and thank God for like all these other platforms. Thank you guys for popping over. Your names are coming in so fast. This is the first time I'm actually on. Literally just came over to thank everybody for being part of this 3-day like splurge of following everybody and sharing pages out and getting involved in like people's lifestyles, and just a change on this space. Like, this space, TikTok needs a bit of a change, and I think that this is that change that needs to happen, So I do appreciate it. I can't say that I've been doing the TikTok thing for a while. I've been on the performance bonus with Facebook. Basically, yeah, and I play other stuff like jazz. I did study classical. Like lots of things. So, I'm just, yeah, literally, so you guys are getting a chance to see just an introduction. I do like the production stuff on YouTube, but if you guys are interested to see how production works, I can give you like an introduction to Logic Pro. I use it on my phone, I use it on my iPad, I use it as a desktop, you name it. It's like everything I do. So I'm in theory, I'm self-taught as production, because it was just something, I did a first like introduction course in Tokyo, and then it was like, okay, like I really like doing this, and I like technology, so this is what I like enjoy doing. So and I say a lot of like, maybe that's why the kids think, oh, she's like our age, because like, spending too much time with kids that say like. Okay. So once again, guys, I am 44 years old. That means I was born in 1979. That's like Generation X. Okay. So I think a little bit differently than the Gen Zers, which is, I think, my sister's generation. We like to help people. Like our mission in life, I don't know why it is, but it is. We like to help lift people up and help them out and get people where they're supposed to be, rather than push them down and tell them that they can't do stuff. Probably because we had parents that used to do that. Like, don't do that because that's not what you're supposed to be doing. Focus on this, that, and the other. So we're kind of like, we raised ourselves, if that makes any sense. We were self-motivated, self-driven, a little bit rough on the edges, which is fine. I don't mind being rough on the edges. And yeah, if you're just joining in, I'm just doing a quick thank you for everybody that's popping over. Press the like buttons on this, so just to get like the starting point of the you call I'm what you call a multimedia artist. I'm what you call an artist that can build varieties of different things. I don't have to just focus on one thing. It's various skills, because those skills in the end become survival mode skills. We can, like, literally in my case, I can pretty much survive through like lots of things. If I need to build a house, I'll build a house because I can use tools. If I need to make garments, I can make garments. If we don't have a sewing machine, I can knit. If I don't have a keyboard, I'll figure something out and I'll make something out of wood. So it's generally how I think. I don't think of it as, oh, it's like a cool skill. It's like survival skills.